All right, guys, we're live. We're back. I do
Oh shoot, we
apologize.
live again?
Yeah, we're live. I just threw us back out there. I mean, we're gonna try and keep this thing simple. I don't know why we're having these experiences, but I mean, I guess the only way to find out is to learn. So that's what we're doing. And like I said, we're going to jump right back into this thing. We talked Super Bowl, talked. I wanted to talk a little bit about the commercials, but because the commercials I lost them. I had pulled up the Cadillac commercials and I pulled up the Reddit
Mm.
commercial. I wanted to talk about that, and maybe before the end of the show we can bring that back up. I know you said that you wanted to talk a little bit about this new topic with McDonald's. So, with that being said, let me see if I can get the article to pull up, if you don't mind, and see if I can find it. Here we go. McDonald's. Go ahead, James. Oh, nope. Hold on. Second. There you go. Now you should be
Oh
in.
my good. Am I okay now?
Yeah,
Okay, got
now
to
you're
talk
okay.
about
You're live.
McDonald's. Don't mess up my quarter pounder with cheese when I'm talking about my Big Mac attack. Uh, McDonald's is trying to do some things here, little COVID customer centric advertising, marketing, just reaching out to their patrons. Before we got cut off, I was kind of liking it to what the coffee shops are doing with their rewards programs, like Starbucks, like Pete's, like Chipotle is doing with their rewards as well. So the idea is, right, you can't go inside a Starbucks. I mean, I'm sorry, a McDonald's right now. So you get the application, load that on your mobile device. It's location aware, so they know when you pull up in the drive-through, you pull up to the window, even before you say anything, they will attempt to recognize you by your first name. So McDonald's is trying to get up close and personal with the folks that frequent the establishment. Try to get a little more personal, right, in terms of their greetings, in terms of how they treat people that come to the establishment. There'll be some rewards for frequent shoppers, frequent buyers of the food from of the fast food from there. So, look, I love the fact that any company is going out there and trying to touch and engage and be responsive to folks that are patronizing their locations. So, will this work? Maybe it's different. I don't know if I necessarily want fast food restaurant to know that I've been there every day for the past week and be like, hey James, you was just here yesterday. You want that usual Big Mac and large fries and a Coke. I don't want that. I don't want that look, right? When I'm supposed to be going to the gym and McDonald's knows that I'm picking up the McFlurry every single, like we did last night when we was, hey, so when we were, when we were testing at midnight last night, you saw me tell boy, I sent my daughter out to McDonald's to pick up some McFlurries. And I don't necessarily want them to know that I'm cheating on my training and on my diet at midnight picking up Oreo McFlurries. But again, I applaud them for trying to do something to connect with folks that frequent the establishment because you can't go inside and eat now. So meet them where they are. Meet them in the drive-through and say, "What's up, tall boy? I see you. You want that double Mac and 18-piece McNuggets? What about you? You gonna do it, man?"
So here's the thing. It's another app that I have to download on
Oh,
my.
see, but you gonna do it though, aren't you?
No,
You gonna install the app tomorrow?
well, here's the thing. It's another app that we have to install on the phone. That's one thing. I just as much Chipotle as I eat, I um just downloaded their app just to start getting rewards. And it's like,
Okay.
okay, the rewards are cool and I like it, but that's a great thing. But um, I for me, I'm not a fan of downloading restaurant apps. That's just me personally. So with
Hmm.
that being said, it's one of those things where you say, we okay, What am I doing wrong? Because I'm doing something wrong where I can't. Okay, there it is. I see. All right, there we go. All right. So me downloading apps for restaurants, that's not really what I want my phone designed for. That's me personally. Now, for the
Mm-hmm.
one eats at McDonald's, they eats at Starbucks, they eats at Chipotle or any of the other fast food restaurants, I mean, I think that that's great because they're now greeting you, but it's no different from what Chick Fil A is already doing. So it's like you're just taking a page out of Chick Fil A's book. Uh, so I'm not knocking what you're doing. I'm just saying, for me, it doesn't work for me. Do I want you greeting me saying, "Hey, tall boy, your order. Nice to meet you, tall boy. You're back or so soon to your favorite one." I mean, I think when you frequent a shop that much, they should already know who you are anyway. So the fact that it's automatically coming up on the app because you're ordering online. I went to a McDonald's the other day, and it's the first time I had a Big Mac in almost 8 months, maybe
Mm.
even a year. And what ended up happening was I just wanted to sit down because I've been sitting in the house. I don't get out often. And they
Right.
said, unfortunately, our dining area is closed.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
so you had to order on the kiosk machine, and which is popular overseas already. And you order your food, and then you have to take it to go. Today, I went to Popeyes. You could sit down and eat at Popeyes. They got the new fish sandwich. So the chicken sandwich was the new thing to do. Well,
Mm-hmm.
last year where you couldn't get a chicken sandwich in Popeyes
Yeah.
last year. Well, now
Hard to come by.
they just now released the fish sandwich, and when I tell you that thing is good, that thing is good. But I don't, I forgot what restaurant they ask you what your name is as they're putting in the order. So this restaurant today did not do that,
Mm.
but to each his own. So I mean, if you're a restaurant, if you're a restaurant connoisseur and you want that type of service, by all means, go for it. For me, I don't care
Yeah.
if you say
Yeah.
tall boy.
Yeah. Again, I'm not. I'm in alignment with you a little bit. Yeah. I don't necessarily want McDonald's and Burger King and Carl's Jr. knowing that I've been rolling up in there all the time and knowing me on a first name basis. But the the overarching story on this is really the use of beacons, right? And the fact that, yeah, you've got an application and you have to opt in, obviously, to allow these applications to know your location and to know your GPS coordinates, that you are actually in the drive-through or you are actually are close to the McDonald's. So probably when the restaurants open back up, as you're walking up, it'll probably send you a text message, SMS message saying, "Hey, James, welcome back to McDonald's. Today, these are the specials, these are the sales." And so again, these are the ways that technology, especially mobile communications, are getting deeper into lives and helping to drive decisions, helping to drive consumer behavior. That gets, again, that gets into a really gray area. I don't mind the extent, because again, when I walk into a store, like when you walk into Kohl's or something, if you got the Kohl's app, you go to their store, as soon as you walk up on the door, boom, it says, "Hey, these are the sales and this is what we got popping off today, 20% off in the men's department." Man, just okay, but it can get to be overbearing. Now I'm going to a food location. Hey, you want to get that double Whopper with cheese or that double Big Mac with cheese again? I can get it. We can order for it before you walk in the door. Technology doing things again without us even being involved, trying to think for us before we're ready for it. We talked a little bit about that last week. There's another story that we didn't have in the show notes, but Ring and the Alexa devices are now starting to coordinate and starting to talk, right? So now you can actually have Alexa answer the door when someone rolls up on your on your front door. It's getting to a point, right, to where again it's almost too much. Like your screen on the back of the wall there says "Stay in your lane." I think companies are again trying to find a way to be as compensating and as trying to do as much as they possibly can from a technology perspective, but again, there's a fine line of doing too much. So We'll see. I might be reading into it a little more than it is. Again, it's just a 6 piece chicken nuggets and and a McFlurry right now. But who knows where this is going to go?
That's funny. I mean, like I said, Robert says, by the way, cool Benji Lock hat. Thanks, man. And oh man, this talk for food. I better go get some dinner. Great to see you guys. So like I said, for me, final thing, I just don't know if I want you in my business like that.
Yeah.
To each his own. It is what it is, you know. So
Yep.
if you download the app, just understand that that's a possibility
They
that
got
you're
you. They
that,
they
that, that,
got you. Once you download the app and opt in, they start tracking. That's just
yeah.
what it is.
Well, speaking of tracking, is not necessarily the whole thing, but I guess my question to you is, what are your thoughts on QR code?
They were in for a minute, right? They really were. They were pretty cool. You can create your own. You can customize them with different colors, different shapes. It's really was when they first came out, pretty popular for digital business cards like that kind of thing. That's what folks were using them for, or digital landing pages for marketing purposes. It kind of died out. QR codes died out when like podcasts died out after a while when they were first starting, but now podcasts are all the rage because we're locked in because we need a means of communicating. So podcasts are the rage, and I'm seeing now QR codes are again coming back as a touchless means of exchanging information with folks, and you can create multiple QR codes. I hated the fact when QR codes first came out, seeing them on buses and and seeing them on like moving vehicles, because that was just insane, right? Are you really gonna walk up on a moving bus with your phone and try to capture the code? No, that's not the right. Whoever was running marketing for that organization it needs to be fired. But I, there's value in them. I think it's a great way of capturing information, and everyone has the capability on any phone that they have. So, what about you? I think you had an app that generated QR codes automatically, I believe, as well. You still have that up?
I don't know if I still have that. That was so long ago.
Yeah, that was
I
before you had gray hair.
Yeah, actually it was, believe it or not. So for the ones who are not familiar with QR codes or quick response codes, they were invented in 1994 by Mashi. I don't want to butcher this man's name, but Mr. Hara, Masahiro Hara, an engineer who worked in Japan's auto industry with the goal of tracking
Hmm.
vehicles and parts during the manufacturing process. Instead of typing in a tedious URL, scan a small black and white label with your phone to instantly pull up a website or app. In the years that followed, other sectors, including advertising, marketing, and online payment services, adopted this usage. With that being said, now in cities like Bangkok, Hong Kong, the technology has been tapped to help curb the COVID-19 pandemic. Codes posted at the entrance of grocery stores, public transit centers help contact tracing efforts in case of outbreaks. But in the decade or so since QR codes have been floating around the U.S., they haven't been widely adopted. They said I don't want to talk about Apple. No disrespect to them, but basically,
It's
they
all
said
right.
in its recent state of the industry report, the National Restaurant Association noted that since last March, half of full service operators have added digital menus accessed by scanning a QR code.
Okay.
Um, it's funny because just this past Sunday, Amy and I went out, and when she and I went out, um, they said that you could not use cash, and we had to download their app.
Wow.
And
Okay.
download. I mean, excuse me. They gave us a QR code. I'm sorry. They gave us a QR code, and then it opened up their menu. That's what it did.
Got you.
So
I've
it
seen
was
that. Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
so,
Yeah.
so no paper menus, no none of that. Here's our app on the table. You scan it, and once you scan it, our menu pops up. You order
Hmm.
what you want. They gave us a card, no bigger, no, I don't, oh, no, it was a flat card, no bigger. card, red on one side, green on the other. Basically, red for we're good, green we need service. And once you were ready, you flipped the card over. You told them what you wanted. 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, you had your food. You were eating, and then at the end, you just give them your debit card. If you got the tap and go on your card with
Yeah.
that tap availability, then you were good.
Hmm.
If not, you just put your card in the machine, you leave your tip, and you're out the door. Contactless. It was easy, simple. I felt really comfortable inside of the restaurant. We
Yeah.
were. I don't think we were spaced out 6 feet, but it was. But they did the best that they could with the resources that they had.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, again, I think it's definitely a great tool for again, especially now with the pandemic, right? Contactless and especially in the service industry, you going out to eat, they can't be passed around all these menus all the time because man, you don't know what's happening. So um, go with QR code. Like I say, every mobile device, it doesn't matter what platform, within the camera has the ability to open up a QR code and go right to whatever that landing page is. So yeah, it's pretty cool to see technology that was big 10 years ago or so coming back to fruition and being utilized.
but it's full circle. Look at the Jetsons. It was just a concept, and look at where we're at now. You know,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I mean, look at you talk about bell bottoms. Look at what that was in the '70s to what people are doing
I can't
now.
wear bell bottoms no more though,
No, I'm
brother.
just saying.
I'm not gonna do it.
You talking about
Corduroys
Afro,
and bell bottoms, I can't do it.
right? But I mean, you talking about afros. I mean, back in the day with the
I can do
soul
that.
glow.
Yeah,
But now people are coming back to that. So I mean, it it comes back full circle.
it does. It
It,
does,
it, it
and
comes
better,
back.
and hopefully better. Yeah, my Stay Soft Fro S curl back in the day was not as popping as I thought it was. So hopefully, if I go back that route, it'd be better this time.
Wow.
I,
Okay.
I digress. I gave you a little more
Let me
information
see.
than
I
you wanted to
think
know, didn't you?
if I'm correct, we did McDonald's. We did QR code. Oh well, I guess it's time to talk Apple.
Why you do me like that, man? Why?
uh,
I mean, why you act like you're dropping a bomb on somebody?
oh man,
Why you act like you like it
man,
hurts your heart or something to talk about what my folks
cause I
down in
mean,
Cupertino
Apple's
were trying to do?
always, and I don't even have what I wanted to incorporate in the show. It is my fault because I had to reset the whole thing. See if I can find it in my section. There we
I'm trying to get you on Clubhouse. You got an iPad. I'm trying to get
But
you over there so you can join into some of these conversations.
I'm coming soon.
Come on, brother. Come on.
I'm
The
coming
water
when
is
it comes to
warm.
I'm coming when it comes to
We're
answer.
not gonna try to drown you.
I appreciate you. I
We let
appreciate that.
everybody. We welcome all. Bring ye all ye ties
Bring
to
all
the
you guys.
storehouse.
All right. So since it's time to talk Apple,
What you got here?
all right. So it's time to talk Apple. Apple news.
I'm looking to see if my phone's ringing. That's crazy.
No, well, your phone don't have this kind of beat. I had to give you a little remix, okay? All right. So you like that, don't you? Okay, go ahead. Let me
I
put you
do.
on.
I'm gonna get that.
So go ahead. Go ahead. That's your dance.
Oh shoot! Hey, that's gonna be my ringtone. Hey, whenever Isaiah calls me, that's gonna be my ringtone. I love
Oh
it.
man.
Okay, what you got, brother?
I'll send that over to you. So
Yes,
my
sir.
question to you is, since we're talking Apple news, what ever happened to Siri?
Siri, bless her heart. Bless her heart.
I mean, I
Siri
thought
is.
Siri was cool. I mean, I thought it was cool. I mean, Siri was the lady that gave you all the answers, gave you everything that you needed to know, and then somehow Amazon entered the voice assistant fray, and
Man,
with the Echo, and now everyone says, "Hey Alexa, make this
yeah,
happen." Google Assistant. I've used Google Assistant more within the last year than I've ever
yeah,
used Google Assistant before. But it was kind of cool to have that Siri, and that was one of the driving reasons that made you say, "I want to have, uh, an iPhone," or at least I
Yeah.
thought that was what it was. So, I mean, what do you think happened to it? I would love to hear
I,
your thoughts on
I honestly think that there were probably, and this is speculation, I just think that there were changes and shifts in teams that were directly responsible for Siri, just like the Apple TV, right? The Apple TV when it first came out, folks thought that consumers we thought it was just an experiment or just a side project, so there was never really a lot of attention paid to it. I honestly think that Siri kind of fell the way of Apple Maps did back in the day, right? They released something, it wasn't really, it was okay, it wasn't great, and then consumers started using it and really started complaining and saying this isn't right, so they started utilizing other platforms. Nobody's going to beat Google. Google owns everything. You see the cars going up and down the street, mapping out everything. You know Google owns and has their vast search engine and their capabilities. The fact that Apple has this built-in digital smart assistant, and the only thing that they've really done as of late in these more recent iOS updates is just to change the user interface. No main changes to the actual context, content, and capability, right? I mean, it hasn't really evolved in the number of years that it's been available. While you see Alexa coming out with hunches, which, right, we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, the ability to have
turn
that
off the
smart
light.
assistant. What's that?
I
Yeah,
said, yeah, turn
turn
it off.
off the lights, open the door, open the garage door, do all that stuff, right? So those assistants, the Alexas and the Google one. Look, I got Issa Rae on my Google Assistant. All right, so being able to change the voices and be able to change, I had Samuel L. Jackson on it for a while. Those are the kinds of things that the consumer wants. I can say, "Hey Alexa," and I got Issa Rae telling me, boy, you know what time it is, right? I can have her talking to me. That's the cool thing that consumers want. I don't want Hey Siri to give me incorrect information, which unfortunately she does a good percentage of the time. So it's sad. I think it's not going anywhere. I don't think it's going to be like Cortana. I don't think it's going to be like right like the assistant that Microsoft has, and it kind of just fades in the background. Hopefully they start taking it seriously, and in the next handful of releases do something relevant to stay in the conversation, because be honest with you, a lot of folks with iPhones install the Google Assistant and utilize the Google Assistant as opposed to calling for Siri. My parents have iPhones. They don't talk to Siri. I had to tell my dad who Siri was a couple of days ago. He uses Google because it just works. It's simple. It works. It's there, and you always know that you're going to get accurate information. So, yeah, it's unfortunate, right? Apple again tries to do everything and tries to be smart for you when you don't think that you need them to be. When you when you think you don't have the answer, they think that they have it for you, and unfortunately, they've kind of missed the boat a little bit on Apple TV updates and Siri enhancements, in my opinion.
Right. So it says here that people wondering why did Amazon enter into the voice assistant space, and they thought, what did Amazon know about voice assistants? And it says it turns out Amazon knew a lot. It gave virtual
Hmm.
Alexa a huge array of skills, shall I say? Then Google Assistant
Mm-hmm.
introduced as your own personal Google, which I love, start showing its smarts. But now they're saying Siri did receive some minor upgrades during all of this, but it's far from the top of the class. That being
Yeah,
said,
not enough to be. Yeah.
they say Apple still turn things around. Siri has been recently getting since around the time Apple picked up ex um, John Giandandre to be its VP of machine learning and AI strategy back in. So I mean, if you go get somebody from Google and say, "Hey, let's incorporate, this technology over here,"
Yeah.
I think that helps. I mean, when you're pulling somebody from the best, I mean, right? I mean, pulling. somebody from the Bulls, you're hoping that, or you're pulling somebody from, you know, LeBron, or or the Golden State Warriors, you're hoping that you get somebody that can bring some value to your team. So
I like that. I like
I
that.
hope that it works for them, and we kind of see where it goes with that personal situation with Siri. But do you use Siri at all?
No, man. I only use Siri for I've got a HomePod, right? So the HomePod is the big in-home speaker. So we've got that in the kind of in the living room area. So when we're just kicking it in the kitchen, jamming, right? I'll tell Siri on the HomePod to play some music or something. But that's really it. I don't really even use it on my phone. I don't
Oh,
because I don't. I haven't had as great an experience with it, so I don't use it.
oh, oh.
It's terrible. I know it's terrible. Uh oh. Got me
Apple
looking down
News
for my
number
phone
two.
again.
Look, I got something for you for Apple. Go ahead, get your dance on. Go ahead. Apple News number two.
I didn't even.
Now, this is the part that's killing me. You can't fix on Siri, but yet you want to jump in somebody else's space. This is the part that has me, that I'm worried about. Apple Maps, I guess, with your new update that you have, 14.05 or 14.5.
14.5
Um,
coming out for, yeah, folks will start getting that in a couple of weeks. Yeah.
right. So they said that they're going to um, start incorporating a Waze like service for your product, for
Yep.
your Apple Maps. Is that what they call it?
Yeah, Apple Maps. Yeah.
Um, so Apple Maps, you can now report car accidents. You can report when the police are here. You can do all of that good old stuff. They're just saying they're bringing a variety of Waze-like features to Apple Maps. Uh, but my thing is, why are you biting off of what Waze is doing? Why are you jumping in, in the navigational space? Now you want, I mean, you got Siri. We just talked about you, and it's like, okay, but why can't you build that up and then, then jump in? But now you want to jump in Waze's space, and it's like Waze has been here for years, and now you want your own ecosystem, if that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
I don't understand that. Apple is giving users a handful of different ways to report these hazards. First and
Yeah.
foremost, you can use Siri to report hazards by simply saying, "Hey Siri, report an accident." You can also report hazards, speed traps, and accidents using the Apple Maps interface on CarPlay. Do you use CarPlay on your Tesla?
No, we don't. Tesla doesn't have CarPlay, but my other cars do. But yeah, Tesla has their own infotainment system.
And it says if enough users report a speed trap, hazards, or accident, it should appear on the map as an alert to other Apple Maps users. But here's my only thing: Do
Yeah.
you think people will download? Do you think people will download service? That's another
Well, Apple
app.
Maps is part of the default installation, so you always have Apple Maps. You can move that off of your screens, right? You can kind of hide it, the icon, but it's part of the default installation.
Okay. So I guess my question is,
Um,
with Waze being so popular,
yeah,
do you think that people convert over? That's kind of like Microsoft Edge versus Chrome.
yeah. No, I agree, and I kind of alluded to it a minute ago, right? So when maps kind of first started coming out, it was wrong, right? They tried to do the 3D buildings and 3D rendering, and it was just incorrect, and it was giving longer roundabout directions to people. But Google has this thing down, right? Google owns Waze, right? And
I
and
did
they
not
they
know
got
that.
it down. You got their cars driving around with cameras and recording every inch of the globe. Waze has been doing this forever. Waze has gamified the platform, so you can actually keep track of. I mean, you can chat with other drivers and things like that. I mean, Waze has it down, and Apple's trying to bite off of that. Okay, I understand that, but I don't see where it's going to be actually a big attraction because I don't know the real number, but I can guarantee you 80% of folks that own an iPhone either have Waze installed or have Google Maps installed. Why? Because those work. They just do. And look, Google Maps is off the charts too, right? Because you can use Google Maps to find all the restaurants, the hotels, all of the places of interest that you are when you're at somewhere, and then you can just click again and then make a reservation. You can click again, right, and look at the Yelp reviews or whatever. Some of that is starting to roll into Apple Maps right now, but again, it's not. It hasn't been as consistent, and that first impression that really has kind of stuck with folks. That first impression of Apple Maps failing caused a handful of folks at the organization at Apple to lose their jobs. Right.
Wow.
So can't remember who it was. It may have been Cook or it may have been back in Jobs' days. But yeah, folks actually lost their position because of how bad of a flop Apple Maps was originally. So they had to completely revamp that team. And consumers are fickle, man, right? I mean, you do me bad one time and you send me down the wrong road when I'm trying to do a GPS. I don't know where I'm at. I'm gonna move over to
Something that's
something
more
that works.
reliable.
I'm gonna move over to Google Maps, or I hear Waze is owned by Google. Okay, and you can tell me when the police are down the street. I'm gonna use that.
It's
That's
funny
just how it
because
is.
I don't use Waze often, but when
Yeah,
I do, it's funny because there's always a cop, on the freeway, and it's like,
police
man,
always around,
I mean,
boy.
I'm not a speeder. I don't have that lead
Yeah.
foot, but
Mm.
for me, just to know or have that peace of mind, just to see that, oh, he's at, I know where the speed traps are here in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's like Sunday. It's like, I kid you not, I haven't been to church in over a year. My first Sunday
Hmm.
going back to church, and guess what? Sitting right there, right in the same spot, and it's like, but I already knew where the spot was, and it's a Sunday morning. So before we even got off the exit, he had already lit somebody up, and we were only two
Wow.
exits down. From where we originally saw him.
Crazy.
Yeah. Before we get off this
Police.
show, before we get off the show, I really want to talk about jump back to the Super Bowl. I don't think we're gonna have time to talk about the streaker because I'm still trying to find the video. But there
Yeah.
was some tech stuff that was in there, and I'm trying to see if I can find this last video in regards to Reddit. So we may have to make that the last story um, about how they incorporated. Well, I'm talking about it, and I don't have the article up, so that's my fault. I apologize. But Reddit, if I can pull up the information. Did you hear about what happened with them?
No, I just pulled it up as you were talking, and it's interesting. It says, yeah, Reddit's 5 second ad was an unlikely Super Bowl winner. And shoot, if it was 5 seconds, I probably was getting something to eat and didn't pay attention to
So basically, in the middle of a commercial, Reddit pulls up in the middle of a commercial. 5 seconds of that commercial, it was Reddit, and it basically said, "Wow, this actually worked." If you're reading this, it means our bet pool, our bet paid off. Big game spots are expensive, so we couldn't buy a full one. But we were inspired. Um, what does it say? We were inspired and decided to spend our entire marketing budget on 5 seconds of airtime. One thing we learned from our communities last week is that underdogs can accomplish just about anything when they come together around common ideas. Who knows? Maybe you'll be the reason finance textbooks that have to add a chapter on tendies. Maybe you'll help our Super Bowl or I guess owl teach the world about the majesty of owls. And maybe you'll even pause this 5 second ad, which I've just done. Powerful things happen when people rally around something they really care about, and there's a place for it, and that's called Reddit. So I thought that was
Wow.
really cool. That I mean, it happened so fast, like you said. If you get up and you left, you you weren't gonna see it. So I mean, it happened so fast.
Yeah.
It was like, what is that? If that makes any sense.
No, see, and that's crazy. Again, Reddit's been around for a long time, right? Kind of one of those underground, real
That's it right there on the
geeky
screen.
type of
That
nerd. I mean, just folks that are deep into the technical side, right? I'm on Reddit too, and but just the fact again that it's not one of the well known. It's not a Facebook, it's not a Twitter, it's not a Pinterest or LinkedIn or anything like that. But just the fact that it's kind of like the old school BBSs, bulletin board services, and it's crazy that they can spend their entire marketing budget, as they say, on 5 seconds and be a part of everything that happened, as they reference, what happened a couple of weeks ago with Robinhood, and bringing about that huge financial uptick on a couple of stocks, and being front page news, CNN, NBC, CNBC, and all of that. Folks are starting to talk about Reddit. I can only imagine the new user base that they're going to get from that. The negative part, just hey, take that, everyone else, 5 seconds, and we're now the social media platform to talk about. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's a huge gamble, because if that doesn't pay off, if that does not pay off, what do you do? Like, does your company go under? I'm just saying.
That's right. That's the biggest event on the planet, or at least in this country, in terms of marketing spend for a short period of time. And if you make the wrong call, you could be definitely looking for you need to get your paperwork's updated, because that could be the end of it for you there. But I don't know.
Yeah, but it paid off.
Start using Reddit a little bit more. Hold on, let me make sure I still have Reddit installed on my phone. I'm gonna start using Reddit more.
But look,
just because of you.
But look, it paid off. In all honesty, it paid off, and when it paid off, why this is not. Yeah, all right. It pays off, and now they're able to double their salary, or not double salary, but they can double their workforce, because they can double their workforce now, because the commercial paid off, and they bet on themselves, and that's what happens when you're down.
I love it, man. I love it. Again, underground, kind of just the real, the tech geek type of folks. I mean, folks that I love, right? That I can relate to completely, and just know how to code, and just know how to dive deep into zeros and ones, and I love the fact that Reddit is getting positive information and positive air, as opposed to being tied to the whole debacle a couple of weeks ago with the financial markets. So
I think I'm gonna try and see if we can get this, because you were talking about this earlier. But the commentary to this was so hilarious. Was
I making jokes?
Huh?
Oh, your boy running across the stage.
Yeah.
Across the field.
So I'm gonna play this ad. Tell me what you think. My thing is, I think people were excited for him, because I think somebody tried to tackle him halfway, and they missed. So, but just to hear what Kevin Harlan had to say, I don't know if he was Kevin Harlan on CBS, or was this somewhere else? Do you know if Kevin Harlan was the?
No, I don't know.
All right, so let's see if I can bring this in, and let's see if I can get this to play.
Second down, 20, 5:03 to go. Some guy with a brawl. And now he's not being chased. He's running down the middle of the 40. Arms in the air in a victory salute. He's pulling down his pants. Put up. Up your pants, my man. Pull up those pants. He's being chased to the 30. He breaks a tackle from a security guard at the 20, down the middle of the 10,
and
the 5.
He scores
At the 1, and they
he
converge on him at the goal
line.
Pull
So
he breaks the tackle.
And the players with hands on hips at the other end of the field are looking at him and shaking their head and saying, why, oh why, is this taking place in a Super Bowl?
So why is that taking place? So the company is called Vitali Uncensored. It's like I said, as you spoke on it earlier, $500 for bond money, 8 hours in jail, and you got $374,000. That's
good day at the office right there. Good day at the office, man.
But think about this. Look at all we're talking about it. TMZ is talking about it. Everybody is talking about it. So this man, Vitali Uncensored, this man has gotten more out of his streaking opportunity to be on the field. Let's rewind just all the way around. Can you imagine just being on the Super Bowl field just for that 30, 45 seconds, running the full length of the field, breaking a tackle? So now you're the hero because you done broke this tackle. You made that old man that tried to jump and tackle you.
Yeah,
then he circled around
you. Posterized, oh boy, that was chasing you first, wasn't
he circled around you, and then he slid to get a touchdown. And the star quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs couldn't even, I mean, he couldn't even.
He didn't even do nothing. He didn't try to.
He couldn't do nothing. I mean, it's like, what the?
Crazy.
Oh, I don't know if it went. Did you hear that beep? Because I was scared to say what I was about to say. Did you hear the beep?
We heard you. We heard you with the.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that we had that out there. Like I didn't. What? All right. So real quick, another. And I'm only pulling tech commercials. I only found 2 or 3 of them. Let's see if I can pull this one here. I don't know. What were your thoughts on Cadillac?
Next up, Lancer Street.
How magnets of opposite poles can actually be...
Yo, Edgar!
You're gonna touch a lot of people.
Thank you. Hey, buddy, can we stick with the menu?
Open. Go ahead, try it.
That so we're not against other organizations coming out with it. So the Toyotas, and because I'm going to be looking forward to that vehicle when it comes out. I'm going to take a look at it. Probably got some other vehicles coming out this year as well. So the EV market is popping, man. So and why am I talking? And why did Siri just wake up? See, I said nothing. She don't know what she want to do. Oh well. You hear? 1 sec. Yeah. She. No, I'm excited about that. Cadillac is going to do. I think they're going to do well. Good looking vehicles. So that should be. The only issue with EVs is charging infrastructure, right? So depending on how they charge them and where you can charge them, that would be the thing. Can I drive it from California to Atlanta and have a place to charge along the route without having to go too far off of the beaten path? That's what all these other companies have to deal with to kind of catch up with Tesla. So, yep.
That makes sense. All right, our last.
Did you know that Norway sells way more electric cars per capita than the U.S.? Norway. Well, I won't stand for it. Come on. We're gonna crush those losers. Crush them! Let's go, America. Meet me. All right. Aquafina, sorry to disturb you, but Norway's beating us at EVs.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh.
Nuh-uh.
Uh-huh. Meet me there in an hour.
Can I ride with you?
No! GM's Ultium battery is made for all types of vehicles, so soon everyone can drive an EV.
Flying private.
Damn it! Where are you? you guys?
We're in Finland. Where are you?
I'm in Norway.
Norway?
Wait, another
Again,
electric
EVs.
Yeah.
Right, you better get ready. That's 2025 though, you know, that's a long way away. But again, props to all the companies that are doing it. GM should have been doing it a long time ago. GM had the opportunity to be the first. I mean, built electric vehicle, but Tesla beat him to it. I don't know.
So
No
those are the
shade,
tech-
but
the-
just glad that they're doing something.
Those are the tech commercials that I didn't love to see with the global pandemic that we're dealing with. But I mean, the show must go on, as they say. So Reddit became the biggest winner. Excuse me, the streaker became the biggest winner. Reddit became the second biggest winner. I think LinkedIn had a nice commercial that was out there that was very heartfelt, saying that we're here for you. And I think it was LinkedIn. It was some type of Indeed or something like that. I forgot.
Yeah,
what
it was one of them. Yeah, it was LinkedIn or Indeed, one of the two. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was one of those. So I think that was a good situation. So $8 million discount, and somebody found
50%
a way
off.
to beat the odds. So hey, that's a true hustler right there, and they made it happen. So,
Crazy.
So yeah, that's pretty much it. So as far as the service, I'm not sure how the stream is going on your end.
You know, after we restarted, I did not go back, so I just got fingers crossed, and I'm sure we're up and running live somewhere. Where I don't know, but we're out there somewhere on the internet. It's
No,
all
we're
good.
we're live on the same spots. All I
Okay.
did was just fire it back off. I did
Okay.
not go. I did not fire on my Facebook page, but I did fire off on Restream, which had our
Got you.
normal channels that we normally do. I'm watching it on
Okay.
YouTube. Has a 2-minute delay, but it looks like it's playing. I have no control over the choppiness of the YouTube video. I don't know why we're having a choppiness on a YouTube video when I'm pushing out 400 or 500
Yeah, there it is
uploads.
right there. Yeah, I see it. I see it
Yeah.
live now too. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, I think that we have something. Got to figure out why this stream is not pushing out the way it's supposed to be pushing out. I think I should take a picture of it to say this is what I'm experiencing. I think I'll do that while we're talking about this. But Restream gave us some issues, shall we say? Restream gave us some issues last week, and there were some things that we did not like. There's some things that I did not. I think would be kind of cool, such as a countdown timer or a count up timer. I did not incorporate this in this stream. I just found out about that yesterday, and I forgot to incorporate it into my stream for this one. But to see us have to kill out, we pretty much lost our audience and for this show. And I hate that we lost them, but hopefully they'll catch the second replay or the second part of it, and maybe we clean it up a little bit in post, and hopefully they'll like what the lab. I mean, we're testing. So,
Hey, you know what? It is what it is. It is what it is. I love the journey, and you gotta respect and enjoy the process too, or else you drive yourself crazy, right? You never get better. You never grow if you don't.
There's some other
wallow in the process
softwares
a
that
little
we
bit.
would like to try in the near future. Next week we're going to be using Restream. Am I correct? Going to be using that, or are we going back to streaming?
Let's see. I'll probably produce from Ecamm. Ecamm Live just came out with a new beta today, which I'm using right now, and it seems pretty stable. Knock on wood, right? Talking about a beta application, but probably use that and see if we can go through this. I know me and a colleague of ours, me and Robert Lee, we got another show called Verbose Perspectives, and we are in talks to possibly get some marketing folks from Restream on that show at the end of this month, the last Thursday of the month, and it's going to be a heated conversation. We're going to have to ask some of the hard questions. I think that we'll see if we can go Ecamm and the StreamYard out to the multiple sites.
Okay. So, I mean, and I don't want, and I guess for me, the way I look at this is, you know, we already know StreamYard, you know, as I call it, that's the rookie software, but it works. Not knocking it, it works, you know, but when you start talking about the Ecamm, the vMixes, the OBSs, the XSplits, it does come with a technical degree, shall we say, and have to learn it if you're saying that you want to use that production. I get it. We want a clean workflow because no one's going to support us if we keep making mistakes. I get that part. But at the same token, it'd say we were testing out new software. So I'm open.
We've only had one duck, right? This
Yeah.
is the one duck that we've had in the whole.
Yeah, I mean, last week was Restream. This week is vMix. I would love to see how Ecamm really works as its interface.
Yep.
So, I mean, I'm open to StreamYard next week. But I still want to be able to see how it actually works as far as a workflow. I think for you,
agreed. I agree with you.
This was a very easy stream for you. I've been stressing out all week because I wanted to make sure that I didn't mess up or I didn't, you know, you didn't hit me with the tall boy. What are you doing? You know, I didn't want to be caught.
hit you with the.
What, did you get it? You didn't get it, did you?
I hit you with the who you with is what I do. I hit you with.
No, you didn't hit me with one of these. Nope, didn't work. Didn't work. Okay, let's again. You didn't. See, I fired it off. One of those. So I mean, I didn't die.
I did not. Yep.
So I think that's a good thing for us to at least see it. I mean, there's some other products that we have that if you're going to be in live streaming that you should probably look into. But like, you know, to be able to be one of the first ones to bring it to you on the lab. And we're testing it out. And we can say, hey, this is a good buy. This is not a good buy. I'm not saying, and I'm not throwing in the towel on vMix because this was my first time actually streaming live with it for something that's important to me. Everything else is just a test. But if I'm saying I want to take this production to another level, I want to bring in clients, I want to make this work for myself to make money, time is not fair, you know? So I'm going to continue to keep pushing. If you're going to use Ecamm to say, hey, I want to build out a production company and say, hey, I want to offer live production services for people that want to get into business, and everybody and all your colleagues are saying that have Macs, go with Ecamm, can't keep using. And no knock, I'm not knocking StreamYard. You cannot knock. You got to try it. You got to use it.
Oh, definitely.
And no different if it was OBS or no different if it was XSplit. You know, I mean, you have to use software, and the more you use it, the better you get. So, and that's anything in life that you do. So, I don't know. Right now, I'm going, where's my sign? I'm going that right there.
You'll see. No, man, that's it. I think again, we appreciate folks that are along with us for the journey, right? There's hills and there's valleys, but at the end of the day, we're gonna be the ones that's gonna be all about community. It's all about information, and we're just loving just having the opportunity to chat with y'all. So I'm good.
It's the lab, y'all.
I'm gonna get me one of the McDonald's sandwiches right now.
Don't just go get the McDonald's sandwich. Just don't download the app. That's all I say. All right, that's all I say.
Yes, sir.
It's the lab, y'all. We're out. See y'all next Tuesday. All right.